Yeah, hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to one more podcast, a webinar. So, Beyond the Code, the story of Avarta with Savinay, innovator's perspective. Yeah, hey Rahul, how are you doing, man?
Hey Chandra, I'm doing good as always. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for asking, man. Mm, so, have you thought about how much waste we generate daily? It's overwhelming, but imagine if there was an app that could help us manage and reduce that waste.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But how would it work actually? Would it just tell us where to recycle?
Even better, it could suggest nearby recycling centers and offer creative ways to repurpose the items. And guess what? Someone actually developed
Okay.
such an app using Flutter and generative AI. You know, the generative AI is heart of the app, whereas the Flutter is the soul, and then entire framework, and then the beautification part of the entire app is our through Flutter and a web application.
Chandra, it's no way possible, and that's incredible. Actually, the idea itself is a kind of eureka moment. Like it's achievement, right? So who's that brilliant mastermind behind this? May I know that?
So it's all us, it's all of us, but we are about to find out today.
Okay.
Sorry. So we have a Savinay with us, the developer who brought the idea to life. So let's welcome Savinay to our podcast. So
Hi
Savinay,
Chandra.
yeah, hi. So
Hi
Savinay, the
Rahul.
developer, so the front end, the back end, and he has worked with a Flutter app. He has a humongous experience. He has worked for the Indian clients as well as the abroad clients too. So this person carries a huge amount of expertise in development, and we are privileged to connect with you, Savinay. Welcome to the show, Savinay. So we can't wait to hear all about your efforts into this Avarta life.
Thank you Chandra. Thank you for the honor. I'm really delighted to join with you guys. So yes, it was quite a journey, and I feel happy to be part of the Avarta team and bring the my experience and my expertise to develop the app. Uh, it was great working with you guys and working on a project. Uh, which can have a huge impact on the society and the environment and uh, whatever the things we do on our everyday life. So it feels great.
Yes, pleasure is all ours. Rahul.
Welcome to the podcast, Savinay. We are privileged and pleasure to have you here in the podcast. Hope we'll have a lot of brainstorming sessions and then interactive quiz and then rapid fires coming up in the next sessions. Let's look forward for it.
Yeah, seven is just to keep a little
Mhm.
suspense in the entire game. So we would not like to reveal what we are gonna do. Okay, so when we take up any development task, obviously there will be a lot of uninvited friends, uninvited challenges will come, and then there we will brainstorm, then debug and figure out the solution like over the night. So same way we won't be revealing what we're gonna do here. Are you up for it?
Yes, sure, let's go.
Okay, so let's start with the segment one, the
Hmm.
birth of Avarta. So the first question for you, Savana, is let's dive into the origins of Avarta from a development perspective. What were the key technical motivations behind the project, behind joining the project? And how did you ensure that the initial idea could be effectively translated into a working application? Majorly, what triggered you or motivated you to be part of this team?
All right, all right. So actually, the when you guys brought me the idea of Avarta, so I looked at the idea and I saw it. It was quite intriguing. Like it was driven by potential to leverage advanced technology, and also working with large language models, and it's a real world challenge, right? So
Yeah.
from a development standpoint, I wanted to, put my efforts and uh, put my expertise in creating a app that which is very simple to use for all the people who will be using it, and it's very scalable and fast at the same time. So the main focus was creating the architecture that would be robust, scalable, and can have future enhancement, along with the maintaining the usability of it to all kind of the people, even with the people with disabilities can also use it. So that was the main motivation of working with this project. And since it was a project where we can prove our skills and bring our the best of inside of us to create something which is very very useful for the society.
Yeah. So the most fun part here is when we were designing the app. So we
Mm-hmm.
were thinking a lot about the disabled people. So we just want to make sure our app can be used by 95% of disabled people. So that's the ultimate, and the amount of effort that we have put to bring it out. That was an ultimate thing, and we would like to thank for being part of that, Savinay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Savinay, so in the early stages of Avarta, in the
Mhm.
development perspective, I'm asking. So, what were some of the specific challenges, or let's say it's a hurdle you have faced, or particularly concerning the integration part? So, what were the difficulties you have encountered, and then how did you overcome that? Could you please explain about that? Few things about that.
Yeah, so when I started working on this project, the main difficulty I faced was, how to integrate the LLM that we created, and then like merging, like integrating that LLM with the app, with the website, and ensuring that everything works smoothly. Okay, so that was the main hurdle. So basically integration of the and uh, of everything, so it works from one end to another end. And we chose Flutter for the front end due to its ability to provide cross platform functionality. So we can run on Android, we can run iOS, or even on the desktop. So Flutter was a great point, and we integrated with our web app. So basically providing the APIs and services to the Flutter. So it uh, uh, for the backend, integrating AI with real time data was required. So we integrated with the backend, and then again to the Flutter, and we had ensured that the AI models could process data in a real time manner, like same as you are having a chat with an LLM. So it feels like a chat with LLM, but behind the scene, a lot of things are going on, so that it can provide you the best information on a context that you provide. That basically that's an image which you capture through the app. So yeah.
Yeah, Savinay, is there any issue with your camera because we are unable to see you?
So you want me to turn on camera? Wait.
Yeah, obviously, because people want to see you because the innovator. The brilliant mind behind this app. So let's. So meanwhile,
Just give me a second. Just give me a second.
yeah, no worries. Yeah. So Rahul, if you remember, so the amount of brainstorming that we have done to make sure our app is utilized and used and accessed by majority of the disabled people. So can you talk, can you remember like what extent of research that we have done it for there?
Exactly. So, when we gone through the rules and regulations of the Gemini API developer competition itself, it was clearly stated that it must have a criteria where everybody should access this app, and then especially for the disabled and the special people, right?
Yes, yes.
So,
That's great now. So everyone can see the brilliant mind behind the development of Avarta Life.
yes,
Yeah.
Mm,
So now
yes.
that's great. So Savinay,
Yes.
mm, so developing Avarta must have been a complex journey from a
Mm-hmm.
developer's perspective. Can you walk us through the technical stages of development, including how you manage the challenges of integrating generative AI, Gemini API, and then so all the functionalities and utilities, real-time data processing, and Google Maps, YouTube, and ensuring a seamless user experience?
Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of things to explain in one question, but I will try. So, development process started with in-depth research, I will say, to understand the technical requirement and what our end user will be needing from an application. And then after analyzing it and making decisions based on key what features we should be keeping it, and how, so that it remains simpler yet very useful to be used. So then we moved to the design phase, where we focused on creating a clean and efficient user interface using Flutter, ensuring that it was both intuitive and responsive across different devices. So we tested on multiple mobile phones and some tablets as well. So to make it make sure that it's responsive across the devices and can be used anywhere. And for the backend, we integrated multiple APIs. So some APIs are written in Fast API, and we also have some
Yes,
next stuff going on there. So that APIs are also integrated, and we choose Fast API because of its asynchronous nature, and it was very good for integrating with our LLM, because it's provided parallel processing at the using async
yes,
functions.
exactly.
So yes, and we had in Google Gemini client in our app, and which was handling our real time processing and recommendation. First of all, we also may have major hurdle deciding how to authenticate users. So
Yes, that's the fun
so
part actually.
yeah, so we thought ki making users sign in for a simple app is not worth the hassle for the user.
Savannah, can you speak exactly what had gone behind? So, like, how much of brainstorming sessions has gone behind, and how did we finalize the final thing that we have taken up? Just take a minute and then explain for our users.
Sure, sure, sure. So, so when we come, we started working on the app. We like as me as a developer, like I was not willing to put an auth mechanism because it prohibits users from
Yes,
using the app. Once you install app and you see a sign up button, sometimes you feel ki, why I need to sign up for the very small thing, which can
exactly.
be, yes. But at the same time, we have to also make sure that the our app won't be uh, used in a certain bad way, using bots or any other things. So we decided to go with
It should not be
some.
vulnerable for attacks.
Yes, that's correct. So we decided to go with a one token mechanism where the token will
Mm,
be, an anonymous user. It will be an anonymous user, and it will be created per session, so that
yes,
we can also keep track of whatever the chat we have been going on for that session, and we can maintain the context for that chat using that token. So
yes,
it was one of the major long long discussed decision, and
yes.
I think it worked very well for our use
Worked
case.
very well, very well. Awesome,
Yes,
actually. That was the context was maintained. Even the chatbot, whatever we discussed, everything, the proper context has been maintained, and it was
yes,
a successful experimentation.
correct.
Glad it's successful.
Hmm. So yes,
Yeah,
so that
Rafi.
was the challenge, ensuring the data security and also optimizing the AI model for having a better context for all the chats followed by, and all the
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube video links which was generated, and along with the the location. So based on a location, we also provide the nearby NGOs or the dumping locations, so that you can just click on the map or click on that location and just look, navigate to that location. So that was a seamless integration of Google Maps into our AI product. So it
Exactly.
feels very smooth and very good to have. So last step was having all these features and having all these functionalities, and these functionalities also needed a very smooth deployment and integration and testing process. So we also created a very good CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins to
Hmm.
handle the deployments and you know the integration and testing of the application.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, Savinay, can you share a specific technical challenge during the development process that was particularly tough to crack, or did you face any winning moment after that? So, how was it? Can you tell any one of the moment like that?
So yeah, that too we
I think you
recently
can share
discussed here.
the last moment firefighting that we have done. I
Yes,
think 3 days, just 3 days prior, we need to submit, and then
yes, yes.
suddenly
So
API.
I will say ki, that moment was integrating the location services, right?
Yes.
So
Exactly.
so
Hmm.
for all the devices, integrating the location services, what a little bit of a hassle. So we were working with some of the libraries which were behaving in certain manner in some devices, but not behaving in certain manner in other devices. So we had to go a lot of brainstorming, and also a lot of reading and experimenting with the documents to come up with a design and solution that works on everything, all the devices. So the location part was, yeah, it was really difficult because the same URL will work on a desktop or on a different device, but it will not work on a Flutter app or
Yes.
in a
Mobile app.
iOS
Correct.
or Android app. So yeah, it was really mind bending. So yeah,
Yeah.
anyhow
So
we got it working, and yeah, it was a very
ju-
crucial for
just
the
for
app success.
viewers' benefit, I'll just explain the story. So it's just 3 days ahead. Like we have just 3 days to submit our app. So till that time, everything is working well, and we have tested it the same app through the browser in laptop as well as the mobile. But when it comes to after installing the mobile app, .apk file within the mobile, and we are unable to access the locations. It could be NGOs or it could be dump yards. So
Yes,
both
yes.
we are unable to access, and we have just 48 hours to submit. But here it's not working, and it's one of the major feature. We have 48 hours only, just 4 8 hours, and this is one of the major feature. And if anything goes wrong, so entire app will be, you know, uh, uh, disregarded, and entire app will be rejected from the competition itself. So it's basically very huge thing, and one side there is a huge amount of pressure, but we have handled it very carefully. Even Savinay, so he has gone through a lot of readings and tried with multiple libraries, and then finally we have just 3 hours before we just figured out, and then we have finished it off, and we have tested it for almost entire 3 hours, and it's pretty good and seamlessly working well. So that's an awesome
Yes.
feeling as well as awesome moment. So there is a bit of tension but bit of fun, but
Yeah,
that's
it was very
the
fun.
so I'll say to the viewers, welcome to the world of developers and data scientists. Okay, so a, a fun task apart. So Savinay, Avarta combines a cutting edge technology with user friendly design. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what was some of the key technologies and frameworks you used to build the app, and how did you ensure they work together harmoniously? And majorly, I'm talking about the architecture, entire architecture from your side.
So I will say that there are, like, many technologies we use. So for example, content Flutter, and for, like, rendering it, for making the app usable for Android and iOS. In backend we used you know Fast API, and
Yeah, Python plus Fast API.
Python plus Fast API,
Mm.
and we were also experimenting with rags using the
Yes,
Vertex
exactly.
Vertex AI,
Yeah,
right?
what I say.
So
Yeah,
yes, so those things, like, they played a, very crucial part, and the design of, like, the decision of using them was very, had to be very, crucial, and mindful, so that it doesn't affect our, the time which we have to build the app, and along with the usability of the app. So
yes,
it have to be very balanced. So we certainly use, I think, Firebase also to, build some real-time capabilities, and
yes,
AI components. I think we built some of the components using TensorFlow Lite, and Gemini API, as everyone knows, and
yes. So,
uh,
Seven, I'm just curious about one thing.
mhm.
Why did you choose TypeScript?
uh, so choosing a TypeScript was, uh, it will say, seems logical. So since we were trying to have this project running, sane. So the
Yeah,
problem with JavaScript I face, like, in my major development experience, that after some time the codes get so messy, and it becomes a little bit hard to find and debug the bugs if you come around, because of, dynamic typing and other stuff. It's, like, easier for the first development when you are, familiar with all the things working in a code base, and you have all the, graphs in your mind, that, oh, where the data is flowing and coming from, everything, and what the format is. But with the TypeScript we have, uh, type safe mechanism, where to, know key what the data is at what the point of the time, even you are not familiar with the whole code base. So if I come back later on the later, and try to look at some code, I need not to go around different files looking for, oh, what data is coming from where, and what should I do for this, what type of it this thing is. So everything is, available in the first look when you are using a TypeScript. So that was the biggest benefits and the, biggest deciding factor why I use TypeScript instead of JavaScript for writing some Next.js your code.
Yeah, it's a conscious decision, and it was a pretty good decision because our app was ultimate. Because the website that we have designed was pretty good, pretty decent, and it's a message from 7A for all the newbies of development. So choose wisely.
Yes, yes. If you're thinking to work on a project for a longer term, I will say choose TypeScript. It's a pain, little bit pain in the start, but
Yes,
it will pay a lot in long run.
yes, exactly. I completely agree, Rahul.
Yeah. So, Savinay, how did you approach the challenge of balancing functionality with user engagement in Avarta? Were the specific technical design principles or tools that guided this balance?
Yes. So I will say, since you asked, sorry. So for keeping the balance, so since it was a Google competition, and we have certain strict guidelines to
Yes,
keep the app as much usable as it without compromising the usability to all disabled people or normal people, and also keeping it clean. So we borrowed some design principle from the material design and then build on top of it, and also emphasized on on the UI part to keep it cleaner and not cluttered, so that the we don't overwhelm the user, and for when he's or she is using it. Also, I will say there was also a very good feedback loop between me and the team and other developers, that we design things, we take the opinion of others, and then come back and try to fix what we have built based on the feedbacks received from the others in the team. We also showed some demos to some other people outside of the team, so that we can also have a perspective of what uh, the app should really look like. uh, because since as a developer, we have a mindset of thinking in a technical way. Sometimes we forget to have the perspective of a real world user which will be using the app.
agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why we reached out and we took the feedbacks from all over the uh, you know different kind of people, and then decided what principle and the things we need to follow.
Valid, valid.
Seven, let's keep a technical stuff aside for a few seconds.
Hmm.
How do you see Avarta making a difference in the real world, especially in terms of the technical innovations it brings to sustainability efforts, and what impact has the app had since its launch?
So I think, uh, like in my society, if you have to take a example of the people living in my society where I live, so I will say it will be majorly helpful in the recycling process, and reducing the waste we produce for every day. Because I think a lot of people can reuse things which they just throw out. Okay. And
Yes,
we have a AI driven recommendation system where you can just click a photo, and it tells you like whether you can reuse it, whether you can recycle it. And it will always motivate you to reuse it if possible, instead of just throwing it out for, and maybe you want to get it recycled. So
yes,
that was that is the I think it is a huge impact. And if we were able to we are able to bring it as a habit for the user who is using it, to like just anytime goes to he wants to throw some trash, and then He can just take a photo of it and just get a look of what it should be throwing out on what it should not be. And maybe
Yes.
there are some valuable things he can reuse, so that will help a lot to reducing the waste and increasing the recycling, and overall the benefits of environment. And since launch, I think I have seen some communities using Avarta to organize local recycling initiatives, which is which is huge. And if we can get the local people using it, and for decreasing the waste and doing better recycling, then that could be a very big catalyst for broader environment consciousness.
Yes, exactly. So it's pretty much happy that so whatever the the countless hours and late night sleepless hours and candlelight, basically late night burning the candles and all, like everything has come to a
Yeah,
proper use.
yeah, it feels good to if you are putting an effort and you see it making a impact on a real world, it feels very good.
Yes. Yeah, if you remember, so Rahul, and so we all were spending time like at two till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We are on the call, and we were continuously coming to and fro, and then figuring out the things and trying to do integration, trying to fix the bugs, and then moving ahead. So that's all, great house, and that has led to a fantastic outcome. It feels good. Yeah, Rahul.
Okay. Savina, have you received any feedback from the users that highlighted the technical success of Avarta? Is there any talk of the town kind of thing happening, or any success stories that stand out in the terms of app Avarta technological impact? How much impact it has created so far? Uh, can you explain a bit about that?
um so I think you are asking about as a society or as a local people, how much impact we created, right?
Exactly. It's live
Mm.
right now. So how much impact it is creating, or did you hear from any one of your relatives or people from your
No,
society?
basically what
What
he
are they?
means is, um, let's imagine. So for the user acceptance testing, we have given our app to the multiple people. So we have asked them to test a few features and get back to us. So basically, when they're using it in actual use case, when they're trying out, so have you got any feedback from them? How was it? Were they happy, or were they given a feedback? Were there is any no, modification is required, or probably improvement is required?
So I will say the feedback was overall very positive, I will say. So the people first, we presented them, they say like, why should they use the app? Okay, their first question
Yeah,
is this, why is it,
yeah,
why should they use the app? So we I and our team went through explaining them that you can have a very good impact on the society and the environment using the app, because you'll be conscious of what you are throwing away, right? So most
yes,
of the people, when they're using the when they are dumping the trash, or when they are using eating anything and then throwing it out, they are not conscious about how it can be recycled and how what the impact it will create. So when using the app, they started having a consciousness in the mind that okay, if I do this, if I throw this plastic, and if I throw this container I just received when I ordered a food, it will just go to a waste and won't be used. And now if the user will again, if let's say a real world scenario, you want a container to have, okay, to keep something, to keep some food in the fridge, but you just received a container from the food you ordered, but you just throw it away. So instead of throwing it away, when the user just click the picture, and he got the suggestion, okay, yes, you don't throw it away, you can just use it, just clean it and keep it, you can just use later on to keep the food in the freeze, or reuse it in any other way. So that created a very positive impact on the, what the people think on day to day life. And it was very huge success for us as a developer, that people were willing to take a photo from the app
Yes.
and just and just
Even
using it.
I can also share one of the story from my side, because even I was also I was also trying to give this app to the multiple people just to get their feedback. When they
Mhm.
first open it itself, they are actually liking that UI UX, basically the design. It's very
Mhm.
pleasing to their eyes. And after that, it's not like, okay, some app. Okay, I'm gonna do some very useful thing to this world. In spite of thinking that way, they're thinking like, okay, I'm playing some game. Okay, I'll upload
Mhm.
something. It's little crazy, and then something I'm gonna get YouTube videos. I'm getting there are some YouTube, some Google Map links and all. So it's like kind of something interactive, and it's like some game. They want to have some fun with that. So that's a
Yes,
nudge
yes.
effect.
And I will also say, for like, it increases the urge for creativity, among the users. So you see a YouTube video, you see, oh, I can use it to make this, huh? I can
Yes,
use to make
exactly.
other things, make craft, maybe make some useful kind of thing for your home. So it makes it promotes the creativity inside that user. So yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
one.
actually pretty good. So, with this, I just want to ask one more question. It's basically an extending to the present question. Um, so, can you give you can you give us a preview of any upcoming features? Like, what is your vision for the app? Like, what kind of additional features that we can add on top of it, so that we can make this Avarta life as superhuman, a superhero?
uh, Okay, so if I have to think, based on the features, I will say we can bring in some other, instead of, just location services, maybe we can add the, local authorities to the app. You see, okay,
Yes,
we
that's a
can
brilliant.
integrate the local authorities into the app, so that, whenever someone throws a trash, and someone takes a photo, it can just call out, or send a, signal to our local authorities, that these things are being produced as a waste in the society more. So local authorities can take a significant step toward that particular kind of the issue where people are creating on the app. So it can be a, huge impact when you take a, data, and do the analysis on it, and perform, analysis for, particular city or particular society, that how the city is performing in the, sense of a waste management. And it could be a, very big move moving forward for the app.
Yeah, I completely agree with. So this kind of app, if if it is collaborated with the government and then local authorities, and if it is used in proper way, so I think
Hmm.
it can
And
be a,
also we
a
can also
magical
have
one.
a, leaderboard of kind of thing, where
Yes,
people, yeah,
exactly.
where people can compete against
Some
the,
kind of reward for them.
yes, where
Agree.
people can compete
That
against,
would be
and it
very
will be
helpful for
rewarding.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Rahul, let's take him. So it's basically so far we are having journey of we are having technical journey. So now let's try to take him to the fun journey, a bit of fun. Okay,
Yes.
so the segment name is Avarta and Wonderland. So what if? Let's dive into the Wonderland. So
It's interesting.
for a bit of fun, let's explore some imaginative scenarios. So, Savinay, what if Avarta was used to design the Next big video game. What kind of game would it be, and how would the underlying technology play a role?
Oh, that's a tough one. So, if we, if we have to design a video game, relying on this environmental
Same.
friendliness, yes,
Yes.
the avatar
Avarta.
concept,
Avarta Life.
avatar concept. I think I could take motivation from, Pokemon Go, maybe. So,
Okay.
Exactly. Even I
That's
was also
easy
thinking about the same game.
yes.
because you
So
also play the same game.
instead of catching the Pokemons, we can, have some kind of
Catch the.
Easter eggs. Yeah, Easter eggs. Catching,
Catch the plastic bottles to get
yeah, catch
reward
the
That's
points.
plastic
great.
bottles
That's
as
great.
well. Yes. And I
Yeah, I
think
think it's
it will be fun, and along with that fun, it will also be, rewarding for the users to, play the game.
yeah. Probably somebody catches it and uses it.
Maybe he
That's
finds
great.
gold in the trash. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump into the second question. This is also what if. This segment is completely what if scenario questions.
Hmm.
So, what if Avarta was responsible for running a smart city? And how would it manage the complexities of urban planning and then sustainability using its technical capabilities?
Okay. So I think that's huge, right? So if taking Avarta to maintain a running a urban urban plan. Okay, so that will be a huge step, because then Avarta, currently the state of Avarta is, the providing user helpful helpful suggestion and helpful information. But then I will think the Avarta has to be little more than that. Instead of just providing suggestions and videos and location, you also have to provide the solution at the same time. So scheduling the pickup of trash, maybe
Yes.
uh, yes, maybe disposable of uh, the waste from other main poisonous waste mostly. So waste from the hospitals, waste from the treatment plants. So uh, having a network to properly manage and process the waste for the all the big things. No, not for the single user, just for the single user, for the organizations as well, so that everything is in the loop, and we are doing the best possible thing to maintain the sustainability of the waste management along with the cost effectiveness. So one of the major challenges we face while working with those large scale city waste management, that sometimes the recycling cost goes a lot higher than just
Yes.
dumping it.
Mm,
So the
true.
main sometimes the main problem for the cities to not having a proper waste management is that it's not cost effective. So I think Avarta can play significant role in having this scenario sort out, like maybe enabling donations from the app to the localities, or the independent people who are helping the process. So yeah, that's my thought on
Yeah. Yeah. That's what actually when you bring an Avarta Life an app and then your Avarta Life as a game and an Avarta Life as managing the entire green city and so basically if the complete ecosystem will can revolutionize and basically protect this earth. So it's there is a huge scope.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so let's get into the
Let's hope,
little.
let's hope we achieve that with Bangalore.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Pretty
before we achieve
challenging
that,
one, but still.
Yes.
but that's okay. So before we achieve that, let's get into a fun task. So where you need to find out something. Okay, so let me share the screen and also let me Yes. So you need to find out developer things from the image. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Okay. Let's get on to the first one.
Okay, so it's hot and it is trying to be, loading. So hot reload,
Hot load,
hot reload.
hot reload. Okay. Let me check. Yes, that's good. I think it's simple one. I agree. Yes. Now,
That is a very good feature for Flutter and other
yes, correct.
frameworks. We can see the changes live. So yeah.
Yes, that's
So
a fantastic feature.
yes, yes. So it's a graph and
So we have the graph and we have
and
few social media apps.
so it's a network of social media, social network.
Social network. Shall I
Um,
lock it? Or do you
mm,
want to try one more time? Rob, do you want to
so
help him out?
let's go with social network. I don't know.
Social network, locking it, and no, it's context API.
Okay, okay,
So basically, we have connected. You see that various apps together. So normally, how do we connect? How do we connect?
okay, okay.
Okay. So and through the graph, it's context. Okay. Next time, better luck.
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Actually, I was not thinking about so much deeper into technology. I was thinking about overall the picture.
Yeah, but here it's all about technology.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yes,
Okay, we have a Flutter logo and a beer. Mm,
beer can.
beer.
Do you want to have it now?
Mm, I will say Flutter pub.
You will get it if you win it.
Flutter pub.
Flutter pub. Sure. I think
Yeah,
Flutter.
because you can get a beer in the pub only.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this works because you like the pub.
Yes.
You like Flutter as well as pub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Mm, okay. So
Harold, do you want to help
desktop
him
to
out?
mobile and mm, that's a tricky one basically.
Yes. Left side, we have the laptop and then mobile. Basically, web desktop to mobile phone toggle
Is it
while we are developing an app.
is it something related
Responsiveness.
to React?
React
React,
Native. React Native.
not sure. Shall I lock it or do you want to try? See, you have the clues left and right. You can use it and try it out.
Uh, I think that is a switching from desktop to mobile, and if it's a React, it's gonna be React Native. So I will go with React Native.
Yes, this is a great guess. It's a great guess. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it was good. Yes,
Okay, we have messaging
a
and
developer's pleasure.
you have success danger info warning. Okay.
And you have alerts on right, success, danger, info, warning.
Hmm.
So it was designed by another developer. So this slides were designed by another developer. A developer knows another
Snack bar,
developer's
snack
mind.
bar.
What's that?
It's a snack bar, right? Have snack bar pop up and display messages.
Okay, I'm locking it, and that's it. It's a great
Cool, cool, cool.
guess, actually.
So one wrong
Yes,
so
it's
far.
complex. Yeah, so far it's pretty good, and it's little complex.
Okay, we have a tree and a wireframe.
Decision trees,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
decision trees, and a wireframe diagram for the mobile and desktop.
Okay. So I can say, so if see on the right side, it
Yeah.
looks like a page with a lot of widgets. So I will say a widget
Yes.
tree.
Um. Okay. Let's check.
Oh, it's
No,
a ROM.
virtual DOM.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to
I
speak
was
about
thinking in the
virtual
sense of
DOM?
Flutter because I see a mobile, I think of a Flutter, so it's a widget tree for me.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a bit about virtual DOM?
So I'll say
Net
it's a
object.
feature of React, to highly
Yes.
optimize the rendering workflows. So manipulating a real DOM is quite heavy. So when you're manipulating the real DOM, so you
Yeah.
don't want to
Real and
make a
virtual.
very you don't want to make a very large changes to the real DOM, because it will take a very long time for the render to happen, and it will slow down the app. So React has this feature of having the virtual DOM, so it compares with
Yes.
the real DOM and only make those changes which are required to made in the real DOM. So that way it makes the UI look snappy and fast.
And DOM itself is very fantastic feature of React.
Correct.
So because even I also worked with, so I can connect some extent.
Cool,
Even
cool.
Rahul too. Yeah. Data layer,
Data
gears,
we have some.
mechanical,
Okay.
little tricky, but not difficult.
Mm-hmm. So, uh, data layer. So, can you give me context?
Rahul,
Okay, 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 okay. Now I get it. So it's a UI layers, and we have a data layer.
yes.
So, stateful component
Okay,
is it
you caught
maybe.
that UI state there. Okay. Okay, let me lock it and check. And here it is.
Widget binding.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
The one
that's
who
also
has
very good.
developed this a very tricky guy, I guess.
Okay.
And she was in
Who,
another developer.
who whoever
Sejal.
created
Yeah.
this sheet wanted me to suffer. Okay.
Yes, yes. That was Sejal Call. A big shout out to Sejal Call.
Yeah, very good
Yes.
work, Sejal.
Okay. So non-uniform motion graph. Okay. So seems to be animation kind of thing
Yeah.
where uh, timing and distance. Okay. This to be a smoothing curve. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So maybe animation with curve animation or anything.
Yes. This time it's perfect guess. It's little tricky one, but that this was pretty good. But overall, it was an ultimate. Yeah.
Okay, so we have
A Gmail or an email,
email kind of, yes,
and
mail
then
icon,
a
and
mobile
we have
phone,
mobile phone with
a UI.
less. Hmm. So what context I
Yeah.
need to have here? Uh, like if I
Uh,
have to see
Rahul, can you
this,
give the
it's
context to the LLM? So Savinay is LLM, and Savinay requests some context with the prompt. So prompt is on the screen and a bit of context so that he can respond.
uh, design, maybe something with the design, because it looks like Google phones.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
correct. That's a material design. Perfect. So, so far it was pretty good. And then I think out of all 60 to 70% is you are able to figure out. That means you're you know pretty grounded with development. So that's a great effort. Seven, I appreciate your time and so your skills within this particular development domain, as well as, of course, you have entered into Gen AI, and the amount of effort that you put with Gen AI is also pretty good. So we would like to appreciate that also, but things doesn't end here. The roads have
Hmm.
just begun.
Yes.
Just brace yourself for rapid fire. Fire.
Okay, we have a
Are you
rapid fire
ready for
also.
it? Yes. Are you ready for it?
Okay, sure.
Okay. So the first question, what is the coolest feature you have ever coded? Quickly,
Uh,
quickly, rapid fire. No, not
Context management for
one.
LLM for the our app.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, fantastic. If your code could come to life as a person, what
Hmm.
would their personality be like, and what's the most challenging bug you have ever had to fix?
My code as a person. So I
Yes,
I will say
It can be any person, animation, alien,
it
or
could be anything.
any person.
no. I think it would look like a guy who wants to do the perfect things. So it's
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
sometimes I write the code and I try to make it work perfectly. So yeah.
Okay,
This
that's
is
crazy.
self-marketing, I guess.
Yes, yes.
No, it's a kind of a bad thing and a good thing in the development, that sometimes you're stuck in a loop where you want to make it perfect, but you don't have much time or resource to make it perfect.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, you have to
exactly.
decide very carefully along with those two.
Agree, agree.
Yes,
So,
agreed.
if you could develop an app for anything, no matter how crazy, what would it be?
um, no matter how crazy. Mhm.
Yeah,
So if I have to make crazy app,
yeah.
maybe I will make a siren app which activates which activates on someone tries to throw a trash which is not
Yeah,
meant for trash.
yeah.
So yeah, basically it rings all people phones nearby for
That's good. That's good.
sirening. Uh,
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could automate one part of your job, what would it be?
mm, so I will think. I think more it would be writing UI code. Sometimes just you have the idea, you want to make it as soon as possible, but you have to
Yes.
write a lot of UI code, handle a lot of different scenarios user can create,
So
and it's just
basically, you have idea within your brain, and you want a mission, or you want a application that will take idea from your brain and then
uh,
present it as a
yes,
code.
yes. Let me write the
Probably
logic.
it
Let
can be
me write
done.
the logic. I want the UI to handle by some tool, but yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
can't do that.
Okay, you want to give a logic to the model, and then it should give the UI.
Yes, kind of.
But you just think one step ahead. Just connect your brain to the app, and then that should directly take the thoughts from your brain and then develop UI for you. How would it be? Probably
Yeah.
that could be a startup idea.
Yes, yes. Maybe
Okay.
next Devin. Maybe in the next Devin.
Yes, yes. So, what's the weirdest problem you have solved with code? Weirdest means weirdest.
Weirdest problem. So if you, yeah, if you take about, uh, a real world problem, I think the real world problems are not weird. The problems in the code itself sometimes get weird. So as we discussed later, like in that location bug, so it was a weird problem. Uh, so we didn't expected that bug to appear, but I don't know why it appeared. It was a bug. So because of
Yeah.
interdependencies of different platforms and how they handle things. So that was, I think, one of the most weirdest problems I solved. So because
Okay.
we were totally in the sense that it will work, but it was not
Yes.
working.
Yes. If you could collaborate with any tech giant, who would it be and why? One liners. One line
uh,
answer.
Google, and
Oh,
it
okay.
would be Google. And why? Because Google has so much impact on the daily life of the people, that you can
Yes.
have people get on the platform very easy, and just can create a difference a little bit faster.
Yes. What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to programming?
Hmm. I will say, as I mentioned earlier, uh,
Yeah.
finding perfectionism. So that is our guilty pleasure. That is my guilty
Okay.
pleasure.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree
yes,
because
so
I've been
it is.
collaborating with you
I'm
for
guilty of it,
almost
but
4 years.
and at the same time, I love
Yes.
doing it. So
If your code could predict one thing about the future, what would you want to be?
hmm
Mm.
stock prices.
Stock price for you or for
Yes,
everyone?
for me, basically, I want to get rich.
Okay. So next segment, it's either this or that. Only one option. Okay,
Okay,
absolutely one option. Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform or Amazon Web Services.
Google Cloud Platform. We love it.
Okay,
Yeah, you know.
we are in same page.
Yes.
Data scientist or developer? Quickly, data
Very hard.
scientist or
I think.
developer?
I think little bit of both. Can't we have?
Here we
So
catch you.
developer with data science. How about
Rahul, here we caught him.
that?
Coding or leading
I will say leading, but
with
sometimes
coding
you need,
like me.
yes.
Even that's
Sometimes you
what I
have to,
say.
get the matter in your own hands to, do the
Yeah,
things.
even now being a principal,
Uh-huh.
still I'm writing code till 12, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
It's
So,
it's it's basically our fun. So we
mhm.
can lead the we can basically walk the talk.
Yes, correct.
A single page app or multi-page app.
Hmm. I will say
One,
multi-page app.
two, okay. Front end or back end?
Backend. Easy one.
Okay. Back end because it's little exciting
Yes,
or
it's
little
exciting.
challenging.
Yeah, it's challenging as well as exciting, because you get to work on the logic, your core business logic. So it makes quite
Yeah,
a bit more interesting.
exactly. It's lot
Front end is
behind.
also fun. Like sometimes you get to solve a lot of challenges, but
Yes.
uh,
Front is fun from showing off perspective. You just
correct.
want to give the best thing out so that people will see because that's what is visible. The back
Mhm.
end will never be visible to the people because
Yes.
that's how the implementation will be. That's okay. Unit testing or integration testing?
Integration testing.
Okay, why?
Integration testing. Because writing,
Expected.
like if you are working on a very fast paced project, right? So writing unit test for everything becomes a bit of a hassle. So
Yeah.
integration testing is, overall test all the components at once, so it becomes
Yes.
a, writing test seems a bit more logical there, because uh, you can have cover more of the scenarios in one test. But unit test is as well have the same importance when you are writing, core services for it. But yeah.
And unit testing is also important, but integration testing is very, very important.
Yes. Yeah.
So JavaScript or TypeScript? I think you have answered before.
Yeah, TypeScript.
TypeScript,
Yes.
Flutter or React Native?
Flutter.
Hmm. Code
Yeah.
review or pair programming?
I think pair programming, because
Even I like the pair programming. That's why
yes, yes,
for Avarta Life we have done the pair programming.
yes, correct.
CSS Grid or Flexbox?
Flexbox.
Inline styles or external style sheets?
That's a tough one. So sometimes you have to just use the inline styles. Even I like external style sheets to keep the code clean, main component tree. But sometimes you just want to apply small styles, and you don't want to
Yeah.
create a class or reference to an external file. You just do it inline. So yeah, that's it.
So both are best in their own world.
Yes, yes. Depends. If
SQ.
you no, don't overuse any of that. If you
Yeah, agree.
create a reference for every single components to the external style sheet and do the mapping, it becomes very hassle. And
Yeah.
if you write all the styles in line, that will also not look good. So you have to maintain a balance.
Yes, yes. SQL or no SQL?
I will go with SQL here, because
Okay.
the ability to have complex queries and anything get very fast. So SQL all time OG.
Here, yes, here it is. GitHub or GitLab.
GitHub for sure.
Okay. REST API or GraphQL. I think you have worked on both. Even one
uh,
project we have worked on GraphQL also. We have used both there.
so it's a it's a little bit tougher decision to make. But if I have to say ki, if we are working on a, let's say, big app, I will say uh, maybe try having REST API. But the problem with REST API becomes later, when you are syncing with what the APIs are and what's are not. But the GraphQL also have the same problem, where we have conflicting schema from one service to another service. So it's a very tough call. But think I we have now have a lot of tools like a Swagger UI and other things to keep track of our
Yeah.
APIs and present it nicely. I think I will go with REST API instead of GraphQL, since it will seem conflicting, but yes.
Okay, agree. Okay, so Savina, it's been great hearing about your journey with Avarta. Before we close, do you have any advice for aspiring developers and data scientists and even GenAI scientists, prompt engineers who wants to create impactful technology like Avarta Life, or who wants to take up a fantastic career in corporate?
I think as a technical person, you never stop learning, right? So for aspiring data scientist or a developer which is just getting started, I will say don't get overwhelmed by the technologies coming, because you see nowadays we have a lot of technologies coming in, and perspective is changing every little bit on a little bit of time. So I will
Yes.
say, for if I have to give an advice, I will say to some developers that if you want to build something, so just look at what you want to build, what is suitable for it. what technology would suitable for it, and how much time you're put willing to put in on learning that technology. Is it worth the hassle? Or if it is not, look at the scale of it, right? If it is not worth the hassle, maybe I will say ki, try to use your current skills to make that one project, so that you can achieve something really quickly, and that way you can have a a rewarding mechanism for yourself to keep working on new things instead of just burning out. So yeah.
Yeah,
Very
Rahul.
true. Yeah, that was fantastic inputs from you, Savinay. Yeah,
Mm.
thank you so
Thank you,
much
Rahul.
for attending. Yeah, and looking forward. So see how Avarta continues to evolve and impact the world. So thanks again, and we appreciate you and your efforts. You have contributed a lot in terms of development and a lot of aspects as well. So uh, let's keep the hope as same as now. Yeah. Thank you, Savinay. Thanks a lot. We'll meet
Thank you,
on a
Rahul.
next
Thanks for
interactive session like this.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
a
so much.
lot, Savinay, and thanks for being here with us and for being a great
Pleasure. Yeah.
guest. Thanks, man. Pleasure is all ours.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys, for having me.
Okay, so this is about today's podcast with Savinay. So the one of the developer and data scientist, a Gen AI scientist who has put all his efforts into this particular project. You can so he has uh, put a lot of efforts into this, and so now you are able to learn a lot of things from him. And if you want to connect with him, so you can just get into the LinkedIn post or YouTube comment. So there I will attach this person's LinkedIn profile. You can connect with him and try to understand, or if you have any queries, you can speak to him directly. And with this, I'm signing off, and here is your guest, and here is your host. And from next time onwards, we'll be bringing more podcasts, which are much more exciting and informative. And till then, bye bye. See you. No, no, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. See you then. Bye bye.